Hello there, how's it going? Hope you're having a good weekend. Now, Star Wars Celebration has released the full panel for Star Wars Celebration in Japan in April. They've got the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday panels out. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit disappointing in a way. Before we get into it, I'm just gonna say, like, some of the stuff that ReadPop, the organizer of this event, has been doing has been a little bit strange. If you're like me and you purchased something in the art show, you may have been refunded accidentally because of the screw up that they had with their system apparently. Thankfully, they have confirmed that your orders are safe. They just need to work out a way of getting the payment through correctly. But there was this whole screw up with the art show, which was very annoying. Their communication wasn't great around it either. And it's just, like, how do you screw that up? It's one of those things where it's just like, wait, how did you actually screw that up? And even today, where they've released the panel schedule, which is awesome, great, now we know when everything is. But yesterday they had us do the Lightspeed lane reservations, which is to get into the Celebration store, so you can go around and buy things, you have a set time to go there. We just had to pick a time and hope that that time didn't conflict with any panels that we wanted to go with. Why did they release this now? They should have released this 2 days ago so that you could then pick which time you wanted to go to the store and not have it conflict. I got very, very lucky that the time that I got for the Lightspeed lane reservation doesn't conflict with any panels that I want to go with on that day. So there's just been things like that where I'm just like, why are they doing things the way they are doing them? There's been some weird organizational things on the part of ReadPop. I've seen people try to blame Kathleen Kennedy and Disney for this. I want to stress to you guys, it's just not how this works, okay? ReadPop has been hired to run and organize this event, okay? Pretty much everything is on them if something goes wrong. ReadPop runs PAX Oz here in Australia, and they've definitely effed up some stuff here. They've done some bad things with this year's PAX Oz that's coming up that a lot of people aren't happy about. So yeah, ReadPop is, they're the ones to blame for these things. It's not Disney, and it's not Kathleen Kennedy. Now, like I said, the full panel schedule is out, and I did say it is kind of disappointing, and the reason I think it is kind of disappointing is because there are 2, 3 maybe, big omissions from this panel schedule. In the year 2025, it is the 10th anniversary of The Force Awakens, and there is no panel scheduled for the 10th anniversary of The Force Awakens. That kind of sucks. It is the 20th anniversary this year of Revenge of the Sith, and there is also no panel scheduled for a 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. In addition to that, there is no Lucasfilm Studio Showcase panel, which is usually your opening ceremony type panel. And that is also disappointing because it always provided a good look of what was coming in Star Wars, what was on the horizon for Star Wars. That being said, if they did do another panel like that and announced all new movies and TV shows, it would take a little bit of wind out of it when the stuff that they announced at last Celebration hasn't actually come to fruition just yet. So I'm not too salty about that one not being there. It does make sense considering where they're at with development on current projects, but it still is a little bit disappointing. But as we move into the actual panel schedule itself, there are some that I want to highlight that I am really, really excited for. Obviously, we have the Mandalorian and Grogu panel at 10 AM on the Friday. Now, this is pretty much the big one. This is the next Star Wars movie that we are getting. This panel is going to reserve very quickly. This is one of the ones that you can reserve starting on March 26th. 25th for some people. Again, check that date and make sure you convert it to your local time zone so you know what time the panel reservations go live. Mandalorian and Grogu, I will of course be trying for this one. Hopefully I can get into it. 10 AM on Friday. There is a Hasbro panel which does the Black Series and the Vintage Collection. That is on at 11:30 AM on Friday. I will definitely want to be attending that one. Right after that, there is a Lucasfilm Publishing panel which is focused on manga at 12 PM. That is also on the Friday. That's one that I also want to go to. I've really enjoyed the Edge of Balance manga ones that I've read, and I'm keen for more of that and to see what's coming next. The Lucasfilm Publishing panel, which is more books, and they're going to be talking about the end of the High Republic in that panel as well. That is another one I'm very, very excited for. That's at 2 PM on Friday. There's a Lucasfilm Animation's 20th anniversary panel at 3:30 on Friday on the celebration stage. This is going to be one that you won't want to miss if you're into the animation stuff. They're celebrating 20 years of Lucasfilm Animation and are going to be showing a sneak peek of what's to come. So we are potentially going to get 1, maybe even 2 announcements of animated projects on the horizon. Could it be another Tales series? Could we get a whole full-fledged new animation project announced? Who knows, but I'll be very, very interested in that one. That's at 3:30 on Friday. And not too long after that, Doug Chiang, who is a art director basically at Lucasfilm, is doing a panel on designing the world of Skeleton Crew at 5 p.m. on Friday. So straight up, my Friday, I want to go to all those. My Friday is packed. I have so many things I want to go to on the Friday. I am very happy that I didn't get the Lightspeed reservation for Friday now, because that's the day I was trying for and I didn't get it. As we move into Saturday, we have the Andor panel at 10 a.m. on the Saturday morning. That is one that you have to reserve for, so keep your eye on that one. We have the Ahsoka panel at 1 p.m. on Saturday. Now, Andor and Ahsoka, you can only pick one to reserve. If you're going to try and reserve one, you can only pick one of those panels because they are on the same day, and you can only reserve one panel per day. So you need to choose which one you're going to go for. There is another Doug Chiang art panel at 2:30 p.m. on the Saturday that I would love to attend as well. Doug Chiang's great, by the way. If you haven't seen his work, he's also doing photographs and autographs at this convention. Check him out. His work is great. His stuff is great. He's awesome. But the one that I'm super excited for on the Saturday, though, is one that I was not expecting, and that is the Bit Reactor development panel featuring Respawn Entertainment and Lucasfilm Games. If you didn't know, a couple of years ago, I want to say like somewhere around 2021, they announced that Bit Reactor was making a tactical turn-based game, turn-based tactics game. And people were wondering what was going on with it. Was it still going on? Because Respawn's Star Wars project was cancelled. And so people were wondering what Bit Reactor was happening with them, because they were also doing one in conjunction with Respawn, and we just didn't really hear anything. They said that no, it's still ongoing, and now they're finally set to reveal what that game is going to be at this panel, and I could not be more excited. This is actually one of the things that I'm most excited for at the whole of Star Wars Celebration. I know that sounds weird, but I love tactics games and I love turn-based games. So a Star Wars version of that, if it's Star Wars XCOM, that would be fantastic. If it's Star Wars, sort of like Empire Total War, there was a game like that, I can't remember if that's what it was called, but if it's similar to that, Age of Empires, but with Star Wars, no matter what it is, I'm sure I'm going to love it, because I just love these types of games, and with a Star Wars skin over the top of it, hell yeah, I'm very excited for that. That's at 4:30 on Saturday. And as we move into Sunday, thankfully Sunday is a pretty small day for me. The con is also a smaller day. It goes from 9 to 4 p.m, so it's a shorter day. And thankfully there's only a couple of panels that I really want to check out this day. That is the first look at Star Wars Visions Volume 3 at 10 a.m. This again is one that you have to reserve for. In about 2 weeks, you have to reserve for this panel if you want to go there. So there's that one. There is also an ILM panel celebrating 50 years of industrial light and magic. That's at 2 p.m. And then the closing ceremony for Star Wars Celebration will be at 3:30 p.m. with the convention shutting its doors at 4 p.m. Now remember, at the closing ceremony, that is where they announce where the next celebration is going to be. Now obviously there are a whole lot of other panels, a lot of fan panels, there are a lot of fun things going on. There will also be obviously the Celebration live stage, which is the thing that they stream on YouTube every year, where they will bring out all these people that are there for interviews. So you will see interviews with Oscar Isaac there. There is an Oscar Isaac panel as well. Sorry, I skipped a few things because I was just hitting up the things that I definitely want to go to. There is an Oscar Isaac panel on the Saturday at 1 o'clock, I think. Sorry, 2:45. 2:45 on Saturday, Oscar Isaac. And there is one with the two Fett boys, Daniel Logan and Tamora Morrison, at 1 p.m. on Sunday. I've seen them in panels before again, so I don't really need to go to that again. But yeah, there are other panels other than the ones I've just listed. These are just the ones that I'm definitely going to try and go to. But yeah, when you take a step back and you look at this entire panel and you see those omissions of Revenge of the Sith, of the Force Awakens, of the Studio Showcase, I can see how that is very disappointing for some people. I personally am not a go-to a convention for panels, for celebrity guests to get a photo op, to get an autograph. That's not what I go to conventions for. So me personally, I am not super disappointed by this stuff, but I am a little bit like, it would have been cool to see a 20th anniversary Revenge of the Sith. It would have been cool to see a 10th anniversary Force Awakens. It would have been cool to see what's next for Lucasfilm in terms of like maybe TV, if they focused more on TV, but they want to move away from TV a little bit. I don't know. I'm not super disappointed. I am a little bit in the omission of those two big panels though for those two films. At the same time, I've seen people, I don't want to say overreact, because I don't want to say that people are overreacting to this, but I've seen people saying I'm selling my ticket because there's not a Revenge of the Sith panel, which is insane to me. Like, if you've booked your flights, if you've booked your accommodation, and then because there's not a single panel of Revenge of the Sith, you're going to sell your ticket, that is insane to me. Like, dude, just camp out the celebration stage, wait for them to interview Hayden Christensen, because he will be on that stage. There will be an interview with him. It's just, I feel like some people are overreacting a little bit, but I'm also not going to be like, hey, your feelings are completely invalid about this, because I myself think that some of the lineup is a little bit disappointing. So there you go. Anyway, that's it from me. I just wanted to go through and talk about some of these panels and which ones I'm excited for. Panel reservation, which again is only for those 4 panels: Mandalorian Grogu, Andor, Ahsoka, Visions. Those are the only ones that are going to be available to reserve. Everything else you just show up for. If you get in, you get in. If you don't, if it caps, there's too many people there and they fill up the space, you won't get in. That's just how it works. Also now, I can officially say we are 31 days, 1 month exactly, away from us flying out to Japan. We're flying out on the 15th, I think. So it's the 15th today, Saturday, 15th of March. So yeah, we're getting super close to this trip, and I'm getting excited. I'm also getting nervous, but yeah, we'll see. Next thing to wait for, obviously, is the reservations on 2 weeks. And I also really want them to update the app so we can start seeing sort of where everything's going to be laid out. Anyway, thank you for watching. Let me know how your celebration preparation is going. And yeah, I'll see you over there. May the Force be with you. Always.